Welcome to Drafting Out Loud Market Movers on this fine Easter Sunday. Let's make it quick. We got a couple risers we want to hit on. We have one faller that's interesting, and we have a new addition to our value section. Let's get into it. Okay, as far as our risers go, Rashee Rice is the one we want to hit on the most. He's at 30.2, rising fast, 10% in the last day, almost. That is crazy. It was expected though. I'd probably be drafting him as early as the first pick of the second round, especially if you don't have much of him at all. You get some unique combinations and you start to load up on him a little bit before he probably goes into the second round. All the Chiefs are rising, it looks like a little bit. You can see that Kenneth Walker is also a riser. You got to expect that as Rashee Rice, rises, Patrick Mahomes maybe gets more steam as well. So get on Rashee Rice now before it's too late. The other riser we want to hit on is Omar Cooper Jr., rising consistently, daily, weekly, monthly, now to 137.3 with the buzz to be in the first round. I could see him rising up a little bit more, maybe up to 10 picks more. If you get to 10 picks more, then you're getting drafted around the same time as Higgins. And I think that's, an interesting comp right there. Cooper might be like the second wide receiver on a team, most likely. If he projects as expected, Higgins is the number two right now on a team. So you could see something like that as he continues to get steamed up. I think the biggest target on here is still Brian Robinson Jr. at 177. He's been rising slowly, but I don't know why, again, he's not in the 150s. So if you can get him in like the 170s and 180s, thank you very much. We also have both Jacksonville running backs on here too. And I guess, you're trying to make it so there's no value in either of them at this point in time with how much they're rising up, but they are there. They're both kind of scary clicks at this point in time, which probably makes sense. That's where players should be at a point where you're like, ooh, I don't know if they're a good pick or a bad pick. Then the market's probably working. So that's where they are. If we look at our fallers, we have a couple interesting fallers, but I think the two biggest ones are maybe like McBride, especially London at pick 20. He's now the pick right before Chase Brown. And I think that makes sense. Like, do you want Chase Brown, who's been a explosive but always questionable running back just due to, draft capital, what he did in the past, and what the Bengals are going to do in the future. So London getting there with the Chase Brown pick makes London really interesting, if you ask me. Also, some unique combinations there. McBride also dropping makes him a little more interesting. He's always been interesting, but there's just so many tight ends at the end of the draft that you like that it's hard to draft that tight end early ahead of ADP. Here are our platform values for the day. Speaking of tight ends, we saw Colby Parkinson on there. Trey McBride actually is now a value on Underdog because he's fallen so much. David Montgomery is still on the list as a value as well, basically because he keeps on rising on DraftKings, which doesn't make much sense to me. And he's starting to not get that attractive. He's essentially the same price now as Tootin, right? Like Tootin is where is he? Was he a riser? He's a riser. He's 54.2 and David Montgomery's 56.7. So basically that's your decision. You want Tootin or Montgomery, the old running back or the young running back, so your choice. The new addition is Chris Godwin to this list, 12.67 value, and he is steamed up hardcore on DraftKings. If you ask me, it might be one of those things where on DraftKings you draft Addison from Minnesota, and if you're on Underdog, you draft Godwin from Tampa Bay. So there are your risers, fallers, and values for this fine Easter Sunday. Hit the like button. See you on the next one. Peace.